all. There's the Roman numerals 4 shall be punished under 1512A3, death or life imprisonment. Now they have what's known as false imprisonment. Yes. You do realize that when you put me in jail for failure to appear, yes, and you intentionally obstructed justice so that I wouldn't get notice of court hearings. You know, I had emailed the police department that I wasn't evading going to court. I just want. Well, all of those were obstructions of justice. Pooch! Now, I know I want those laws enforced in U.S. Code 181512A. Unlike most federal crimes, subsection 1512A does not include imposition of a fine among the sanctions that follow as a consequence of its provision, with one exception. It states that a subsection manslaughter offense shall be punished as possible. Yes. Then sets the general fine level for felonies, crimes whose maximum imprisonment is more than 1 year, at the greater of either 250,000, not more than 250,000 for individuals, that, or 500,000 for police and sheriff's departments. Pooch. Although many federal statutes suggest that the offenders may be sentenced to a fine rather than a term of imprisonment, yes, at the discretion of the court, other provisions of law influence the sentencing guidelines. Now, you might want to get a copy of how the federal sentencing guidelines work. 2 examples. Yes, you might want to get a copy of it. Because when I looked here, to establish a crime under the law enforcement officer section of the Act, yes, the government must prove that the defendant killed or attempted to kill a person. The defendant was motivated by a desire to prevent the communication between any person and law enforcement authorities concerning the commission of a possible commission of an offense. Yes. The offense was actually a federal offense: forgeries, child abduction, kidnapping, Now, I put a little emergency tag right there, and the defendant believed that the person in above might communicate as with federal authorities. It seemed that the police and sheriff's department didn't want to communicate with the federal authorities about the issuing of protection orders. I know when I asked Deputy Fish if I could use his phone to call the FBI, he thought, well, no. But I think it's really a federal felony to issue court orders where there is no proof of service before having court hearings. There's no acknowledgement of the petitioner. Pooch. She didn't witness what it was that you admitted as the evidence of my actual residence or place of receiving mail. Pooch. Then there's a forgery of the ex-officio Superior Court clerk. Now, it looks to me that every time I emailed ri.pdf, a copy of the protection order and the weapon surrender form, yes, to each and all federal authorities, CID, state legislature, that I can sue them all and have them all fucking put in prison right now. These are federal offenses. You thought you'd obstruct my emails, you obstruct my use of my phone. Pooch. You thought you'd just torture and terrorize me for the rest of my life. But when I go through the 2 million emails and the 10,000 plus videos, every time there was any obstruction, pooh. I'd like to have my sons today. And I'd like it if I could sue those that are legally liable for any and all obstructions of my right to communicate with federal authorities about federal offenses. Because every time that you sent notice to 1023 Kitchen Dick Road, if it wasn't the petitioner that motioned court, they're all fucking federal offenses.